and gentlemen, from New York City, Gary Moore.
Thank you. Bill Wendell, as I live at. Good to see you, friend. And welcome to a high-powered edition of To Tell the Truth. I actually should say rocket-powered, because our first guest is a gentleman who designs rocket propulsion for every conceivable kind of vehicle, including, would you believe it, roller skates. Rocket-driven roller skates. We'll meet him, we'll see some film, as soon as we meet our panel here on To Tell the Truth. Bill Cullen. Kitty Carlisle. Gene Rayburn. And Peggy Cass. All right now, panel. Watch your monitors for a bit of fast-moving film, and I do mean fast-moving. The car, you'll notice, is stopped by parachute. Boom, there he goes. Hey. Now, when that car was stopped, it was traveling at 291 miles per hour. Tell you what, that was so short. Let's take a look at the identical film again. So, on your mark, get set, go. And stop. And there's the parachute. Now, by the way, incidental information, the parachute opened with a force of 14 Gs. 14 Gs, which is more than the force that it takes to get the astronauts launched down at Cape Canaveral. So, let us meet the man who designed that car right now.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Kai Michaelson.
Number two.
My name is Kai Michaelson.
Number three.
My name is Kai Michaelson.
And it's up to you, panel, to single out the real Kai Michaelson, and here is his rocket report. Gentlemen, if you will return to your spots on the floor, we want to take pretty pictures of you while I talk about you, all right? You look absolutely splendid. All right, here's where the story goes. It says, I, Kai Michaelson, am the world's foremost authority on hydrogen peroxide rocket racing. I designed both rocket-powered dragsters and motorcycles, and the rocket car that you saw earlier set an all-time drag racing record of 344 miles per hour. I also race cars myself and have held 14 national and international drag racing records. Recently, I designed some rocket-powered roller skates for my son. And let's take a look at him in action. Now, here we see him with a 50-pound pack strapped to his back, and away he goes, causing hardly a stir on blasé New York's 42nd Street, in spite of the fact that there were 250 pounds of thrust coming out of that rear nozzle. I also designed a rocket snowmobile. In it, I set the world's snowmobile speed record, an incredible 114.5 miles per hour. Signed, Kai Michaelson. Boy, that is some speed. We shall return in just 2 minutes, which will give you time to, well, you can hum the minute waltz twice. The problem of the moment seems to be that we have three gentlemen across the way, all of whom claim to be Kai Michaelson, the designer of rocket-powered dragsters, motorcycles, and roller skates. And let's get this off the ground by calling on Comet Cullen.
Okay. Kai number one, I will ask you this. You call this a dragster, but do you compete, does this car compete in drag races?
No, it's not allowed to compete because it would be dangerous to the man who came in second.
It would be
because
dangerous
of the blast effect.
Also, would a normal dragster have any chance against a car like this?
No, not a...
Right, I'll stay with you, number one, yes.
Not a chance.
Number three, there's obviously a reason for that. In addition to the rocket power, why wouldn't a normal dragster? A dragster loses some of its impelling force Where's that lost, that this car does not lose?
Well, there's no traction with a regular dragster.
Now, number 3, staying with you, it says the parachute draws 14 Gs when it stops. Is that correct?
That's right.
Number 2, I will ask you this. How many Gs are transmitted to you at that time?
It's 14. 14 to the driver. The G count is on the driver.
The G count is on the driver at 14.
It's 14 times the driver's weight.
So I understand that. So then number 3.
Oops, all righty, we're going to go to Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you. Well, number 3, when you stop that fast and this tremendous pull on the back of your car with it, what happens to you as a person?
Well, you go forward, there's just an instantaneous type movement on the car.
You'd be are you strapped in?
Oh, that's right.
Well, I think you'd be squashed flat with this kind of pull.
No, it's just you have to be in very good shape to do it also.
Number 1, do you ever black out?
No, not at 14. It's very instantaneous. It's very much like a parachute jump. It's a quick snap, and then it
Number
drops
2,
rapidly.
weren't you worried about your son on 42nd Street?
You mean with or without a rocket?
With or without the
Are you referring to the rocket pack or the ambient?
both.
Yes, just a little bit.
Well, now, number 3, what would a fellow...
Oh, my, and we're going to go to Gene Rayburn.
Yes, number 2, how old is your son?
15.
And number 1, the formula in this hydrogen peroxide rocket engine, is that the same hydrogen peroxide that some ladies use on their...
I don't, buddy.
No, of course not.
I don't.
Well, I know you don't.
Well, then don't look at my hand.
Well, her roots are red,
Oh, look
honey.
at those roots.
Look at those roots.
Right,
Examine these roots closely. Anyway, is that the same stuff?
Peroxide.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Gray as a badger, he is.
Same, number
It's
1
a
is...
question of degree. We use 90% hydrogen peroxide. In a beauty parlor, they would use 3%.
Yes, number 3, how do you ignite it?
It's through a chemical reaction.
And what other chemical do you use in
Well,
the ignition process?
It's a silver catalyst pack that we spray the hydrogen peroxide through.
I see. And number 2, do you use...
That brings up a funny picture. A guy who's peroxide in his hair uses a silver comb, and his toupee takes off at 299 miles an hour. Let's go on to Peggy, please.
Thank you. Number 3, is hydrogen peroxide flammable?
No, it's not flammable by itself. With certain materials it is, yes.
Number 1, your first name is Kai. Is that short for something, or were you regularly born that way?
I should have been a girl. It should have been Carol.
Oh, so they changed it. Oh, now, number 2, I mean, it's wonderful to go down the road for a little bit with your rocket pack, but suppose you wanted to go on a long trip. Could you get a rocket pack that would send you, like, to California?
No.
All right, say to New Jersey?
No, I assume you're kidding, but
No, I'm not kidding.
This cannot be used commercially because we go out, for example, with 17 gallons of fuel. It weighs 214 pounds, and it wouldn't be feasible to. Anyway, we can't take rockets on the highway, can we?
How do I know, dearie? I don't understand it anyway.
Well, in any event, we've got a bell, and you better understand something because you're going to have to use whatever you learn to make a mark with. And it's got to be marked a number 1, or a number 2, or a number 3. And what we do here is we pay to the group $50 for each wrong vote, $500 if nobody comes up with the real Kai, and Bill Cullen commences.
Well, I had to choose between 1 and 3 based on the fact that I assume number 2 would rather not have been here. And anyway, I picked number 3 on his answers.
So we've got a 3 showing, and we go to Kitty.
That's funny. I think number 2's very happy to be here.
Really?
Yeah.
You know
He
what-
just thinks we're silly.
Maybe he's right. I think he has a very good point.
But I voted for number 3 because he gave us all that information that I couldn't even reproduce now.
Very well. We have a pair of 3s, and we're going to Gene.
Well, you see, I think a guy who'd do a daredevil feat like this, and it is dangerous,
Yeah?
would be nervous in a TV studio in a place where we're all at ease. He would be, so that's why he made the false move in the beginning, and so I voted for number 3, a speed demon there.
For a whole 6-pack of reasons here where everybody bunching up on 3. Peg, where are you going to
Well,
go?
I don't know. I don't think it's number 1. I really voted for number 3 because he's so cheerful looking as opposed to some others on the panel over there. Not mentioning
No,
no number.
I was just sitting here editing myself. That's all. If you knew what was going through my mind, you would be sitting there writing letters. Well, in any event, let us find out now. Gentlemen, the votes are all in. Will the real Kai Michaelson please stand up? And there is. Well, gentlemen, it was a short life of the merry one for a brief while over there. Let's find out who we all are. Number one, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Jim Powers. I'm Director of Investor Relations for Airco. Our headquarters are in Montvale, New Jersey.
Thank you very much. And number two, can you tell me about yourself, please?
My name is Michael Colton, and I produce movies in Rome.
Movies in Rome. And you are reasonably happy to be here, are you not?
I'm very happy to be here.
See there, fellas? Yeah. Okay. Kai, I understand that you've got another big project of some sort coming up. What is it?
Right. We're building a car out on the West Coast right now to break the speed of sound, and it's going to be driven by Captain Ed Ballinger. It'd be a new landmark. Nobody's ever went over the speed of sound on land.
Oh, boy, that would be really something. The speed of sound, it being...
720 miles an hour.
That's right.
What's the most you've ever had?
Okay. All right, Gene wants to know what's the closest that...
The fastest car that's ever is 622 miles an hour, which was driven by Gary Gablich back in 1970.
Okay, Kai Michaelson, good luck to you. And
Thank you very
you,
much.
gentlemen, very much for being here. Now, our next guest...